Nice to have your company wherever you're tuning in all around Australia or indeed the world. This marathon 8th week of Term 1 continues on the platforms of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club with a second broadcast trip to the Ciders circuit in the United Kingdom in the entree slot. But this time for open wheel racing and not on the full layout, instead the 200 configuration. It is round 8 of Spreyton Ciders Super Formula Light leading into round 8 of the Bollins Porsche Cup on a sprint racing double-header evening of action of the open wheel and tin top variety on the platforms of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club across Facebook, Twitch and YouTube. Good evening, everybody. Zach Cabin and Daniel Correa-Sar back with you. Same as last night, same lineup, different settings, different agenda. Last night it was one-off racing. It was an all tin top affair. It was the trucks into the supercars. Tonight, it's probably the best ticket in town as far as this season is concerned. The racing has kept us out of our seat rather than on the edge of it for much of the campaign. It will no doubt do the same for the next 3 weeks. And the Saturday circuit, Daniel Correa-Sar, good evening to you. Probably underrated by some. This will throw up some terrific open wheel racing tonight and some terrific positional battles of the slipstreaming variety, because there's 2 long straights there which will provide open slather for that slipstreaming, that aerodynamic draft effect.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. And good evening, everyone at home. Yes, Snetterton, an interesting track because it's not one that's well known worldwide. It's one of the ones that hide behind some of the other more well-known English tracks, but it always produces great racing and has a very interesting layout, like you said, with the 2 big straights. So with these cars specifically, I think we're in for a really good one. You're going to see a lot of attacks going down into turn 1, and some people are probably going to try and take advantage of the harsh hairpin aspect in turn 2.
Indeed. There's the lay of the land. Now, of course, this is a shortened configuration, but it is full throttle heaven, so it's great for those of you that love your high-speed racing. 3.16 kilometres here. We're, of course, in Snetterton in the United Kingdom. We'll have a look at those track and weather settings in just a moment once we tick over into the race server, which is in about 16 seconds from now. Championship points, let's have a look at them very quickly. Wings and Slicks, round 7. And that's on count back with the 2 drop rounds taken into the equation. The drop GSRC is concerned, Marcus Watson, who arguably needs a faultless run through the final 3 weeks if he is to lift the crown. Of course, missed out last week. He had bigger fish to fry. A non-classified at Phillip Island has, in the long run, rather hurt him, to be fair. Otherwise, he would, if he'd had been able to score points there, he's had essentially 3 drop rounds. It would have been a completely different story. It would have been definitely a 5-horse race. He's only 2 points clear of Matt Schmidtke and 1 point clear of Jeff Adams is Schmidtke. So 5th, 6th and 7th, it's on in earnest at the moment. 181, Danny Davidson, 151, Sean Bonici, and 143, John Baldwin make up the top 10. Grid for tonight, Kane Ryder. So there's new names left, right and centre everywhere tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Riders on the storm here. Kane Ryder on pole position alongside Sebastian Escondero and Norandi. Marcus Watson, Sam Chapman, Scott Barch and Tom Donoghue, David Baz, Brett Barker, and then, of course, Ben Ryder and Jeff Adams make up the first 5 rows of the grid in a field that is only 20 deep tonight, but by gee, it's sack full of talent. There's no doubt about that. Richard King and Matt Schmidtke from 6, John Baldwin and Vaughan Ryder from 7, Adam Lavis and Eduardo Zamora from 8, Phil King, Sean Bonici from 9, Michael Adams and Julian Mookie from 10. Now, 15 minutes race 1, 25 minutes race 2, but they are set to laps. Matt Schmidtke's given us via Adam Lavis the assurance, the liberty of setting a lap counter, so we know definitively what our markers are this evening. Dry weather conditions, which is rare for the United Kingdom, a nice change of pace for them, and we are set to go. Particularly interesting will be the opening stages of the second race, because obviously everybody will be jockeying for positions with that invert top 10. Round 8 of the championship is underway. The final sprint round of the season in Spreyton Ciders Super Formula Light. Clean start from all and sundry. Beautiful conversion off the line. The max boost entries go 1-2 to turn 1. And look at Kane Ryder taking off. Up to the outside went Watson. Chapman trying to go down, he's inside. Chapman got a better run on Watson. Chapman's going to 3rd. The drag race down the back straight. It'll be on in earnest here tonight. Watson consolidates and slides in behind. He had to yield on Chapman. Now, Donoghue will go out of pursuit of David Baz. Chapman's got by Morandi to the end of the back straight, and Chapman will go to second. Clean start, Chapman. Morandi left behind. Chapman's got a championship lead to worry about. Morandi is there in third. Sebastian Escudero Morandi, Queensland karting royalty at such a young age. It's amazing what that young bloke has achieved, and now he's trying his hand in the sim racing scene as well. It's terrific to watch him continue to shine on any stage he has the opportunity to do so. And now he's back down the inside of Chapman to turn one. Morandi goes back to second. Look at Watson wanting a piece of that as well. Chapman got across to cover that off. But laps are going to come thick and fast here at Ciders, ladies and gentlemen. 1:07 the standing lap time. And it's a max boost 1-2, but look at the lead for Kane Ryder already, over a second.
Yeah, the fight between Chapman and Escurandi was pretty intense that entire time. I have to admit, there's a very, very clean lap one from everybody on the field. There were a couple of off tracks, but no major incidents. So everyone has gotten the lay of the land fairly quickly here, as we can see Marcus Watson looking to try and make a move on Seb Chapman here. Wasn't close enough. He'll have to stay in line as they go around towards the final corner. But for now, Sebastian's doing a fantastic job for his teammate Kane up in front. However, that gap did close down, so it looks like those two will be fighting soon enough.
End of another lap. Down the inside goes Watson to third. As I said, needs to make every post a winner if he's to claw back the deficit on that man, Sam Chapman. But what works against Watson is that Chapman's got drop rounds to fall back on. So it makes the assignment even more difficult. He'll be ruining what happened at Phillip Island, and will be coming back with vengeance in the next season of Super Formula White, no doubt. Clean start for all and sundry. Nothing really in the way of incidents so far. Julian Mookie, a non-starter in all of this. The field, Sean Bonici's dropped off the back of the pack 6 seconds. Everybody else is in a freight train. And Richard King now joins Bonici off the road. He dropped a couple of wheels, lost out to Matt Schmidtke. Schmidtke goes back to 12th, Vaughan Ryder to 11th. Biggest mover so far is Vaughan Ryder, up 3 spots into 11th. And look at them hanging 2 wheels in the dirt. That was Watson. Well, he's just proving how well versed he is across different disciplines. He's mastering rallycross in a Super Formula White car now. Look at him. Did well not to get taken by the grass. We know how deadly that can be on some different racetracks here, Dan, on the iRacing server. It varies surface to surface, track to track, continent to continent. Thankfully, the grass a bit more forgiving here at Ciders than it would be elsewhere.
Yeah, it also depends on how much downforce you've got in the car, so you do get a little bit of forgiveness because that downforce can help to keep the car contact on the road. As looks like Barchin goes down the inside of Chapman and gets it done, actually. Very good, moves up to P4, says Chapman is moving backwards from the start of this race. He had a good run on the first lap, but now it seems he's slowly moving backwards, so I don't know if this is more of he's saving for the end. I'd imagine no, it's a very quick sprint round. You'd want to be as Watson is off the track again. He's got to be very careful of those because it's not going to feel good under the front tyres. However, out at front, Kane Ryder and Sebastian Iskandari. That's gonna trip me up. They're away with it.
There's always a name that's going to trip you up. I found that out a couple of weeks ago in the Porsches, remember? Oh dear. Now down the back straight again. Replay. Well, let's have a look at this. This is what happened to Tom Donahue. Again, another one of our championship contenders. Certainly the fight at the moment. Trouble. Loop-de-loop. Loses 1 spot. Going to lose 2. Oh, geez, the rejoin's going to be interesting there, but he got away with it. Rejoins in 11th. Now, that's important. We need to keep an eye on Donahue in 11th if we can, Dan, because he's all over the back of Matt Schmidtke like a cheap suit, who's all over the back of Jeff Adams. They are all fighting for that invert. 2 are going to get it, 1 isn't at this point in time. Kane Ryder has got to the lead on Sebastian Escandari Morandi as well. So Ryder the leader, Morandi is reeling him in. bit by bit. Sebastian, 101.603, fastest lap of the race. Have a look at this. Here we go. This is exactly what we spoke about. This is exactly what we were talking about. Schmidt to the outside of Adams. Goes by on the outside. Takes 9. Adams back there on the inside. Will yield for the moment. Had no choice. Schmidt got across to cover him off. And here comes Tom Donahue down the outside. He'll be trying to do what Chapman did earlier on Watson. Isn't able to do it just yet. Go around the outside, hold the line, hold the speed, the momentum, and then get him back on the inside as it goes from that right to the flick back left to head down the back straight. And now he's getting a toe. Whoa. Down the back straight we go. Have a look at this. 3 wide if you don't mind. Somebody's got to give. It's not Donahue. He's going to get 2 for the price of 1. Brilliant work from Donahue. Adam Lavis now wants a piece of it as well. Jeff Adams bobbled into the side of him. Momentum carried him there off the ripple strip. A little bit of front to rear contact, Lavis on Adams, but no harm, no foul. Racing incident, play on.
Yeah, very lucky to hit that sausage curb and not create any damage or a major incident. They touched the nose there, but it looks like he's still got his side panels there, so that's fine. Jeff Adams now looking to the inside, the same as Schmicky did to him. Doesn't quite get the move done. Might be able to get it done in the braking zone. As even Adam looks for the position. No, but he knew it. Yeah, Tom Donahue got pulled up by that before. So, yeah, this is one of those things where you really got to watch out. Oh, the debris getting kicked up there. They're just using all of the track and then some.
That's a word we haven't used in a while.
That's true. That's true.
And there was plenty of it last night at Talladega.
Yes.
Here's Eskandari. So after a sluggish start, Ryder's lead has been reeled back in. And the youngster, the 704, will look to get by the 718. There will be no team orders here. There will be no holds barred. It's Eskandari versus Ryder. First and second at the moment. Watson, Barchin. Then you go back to Chapman, Barker, Baz, Ryder. Important for Tommy Donahue that he was able to get by Schmidt and Adams the way that he did. It's put him in the top 10. It's a front row start for the invert if he stays where he is right now. Halfway through this race, we're on lap 8 of 15. 7 3/4 minutes gone. It's a 16-minute heat. So we were having this discussion before we went on air, weren't we, Dan? We will give iRacing a little bit of time back here. But at least we do have a definitive marker, and I'm not sitting here crunching the numbers trying to work out the calculator as we go. It's a definitive 15 laps. It will be just under 15.5 minutes based on current pace, and therefore iRacing gets half a minute back. I often say to people, and I've said to you guys just tonight, that, given the good that we do for them and vice versa, we should take every penny we can get, make the most of every second we've got, but it is what it is. At least we've got a definitive lap number here, and the feature race coming up will most likely be a 25 lapper as well. I haven't seen the number set for it yet, but my guess is 25. It'll be over 27 minutes, and there will be a splash and dash drop down pit lane in the middle as well. Back straight, the top 2 have gapped Marcus Watson, who's gapped Scott Barchin, who's gapped Sam Chapman. But the championship contenders are staying out of trouble, and that's the most important thing.
So interestingly, with these two teammates, it seems as though Sebastian is content to just sit behind his leading teammate there. What's curious is if we have a look at the lap time spread, so you can see that Eskandari is the faster of the two, which does make sense since he is in the tow. So he's got an average lap time over the last 5 laps of a 101.7. Kane is just underneath that, and Marcus Watson's actually almost keeping pace with them. So even though, and as I say that, he makes me a liar as he shoots to the inside and takes the lead.
Job done. Beautifully done. That's Kane Ryder slotting back into second spot. Morandi set that up perfectly. Executed it without any hesitation, without any waiting. He was not waiting for an invitation. He knows how evenly matched those two are at the moment. What will be interesting to see now that the roles are reversed is whether Ryder can stay with Eskandari or whether Sebastian's going to take off. So far, it's too early to tell. It's 2-3 car lengths in favour of Eskandari. So Ryder second, Watson third, Barchin, Chapman, Barker, Baz, Ryder, Donahue, Schmidt in the top 10. Matt's got the invert pole at the moment. Adam Lavis is in 12 behind Jeff Adams. They're chasing Schmidt, so it's a three-way fight for the last spot in the top 10. Around the grounds tonight, we'll have the NRL scores from Newcastle Knights Dolphins, the AFL from the G. Carlton putting on a clinic so far in the first quarter. 4:13 still on the clock. They lead 4-4, 28 to 0-1-1 over the Richmond Tigers. And of course, it's been a big day for motorsport fans. We're in Grand Prix mode at the moment. Grand Prix fever, having watched all the action from the support car today at the Albert Park Grand Prix circuit ahead of cars hitting the circuit tomorrow for practice one of the Louis Vuitton Australian Formula One Grand Prix weekend. Huge weekend for motorsport fans. The IMSA 12-hour from Sebring, the NASCAR from Vegas, and of course the MotoGP from Argentina as well. A lot to be excited about this weekend. And of course, don't forget the main course tonight is another concrete canyon. We featured a concrete canyon earlier in the week in GT4. We'll do it again with the Porsches. We're off to Long Beach tonight for sprint racing, the fourth of 5 sprint rounds in their season. And this round here, this Super Formula Light round right here, is the first of 2 rounds in the last 3 weeks on United Kingdom soil. Next week they go to Mount Panorama and then on to Brands Hatch for the season finale. And we are excited about what Brands Hatch might bring to the table. Maybe some precipitation. We've not had, everyone's been kind of sworn off wet weather in Super Formula Light circles, Dan, ever since the deluge of Phillip Island. Some still haven't recovered from that, Marcus Watson being one.
Yeah, it was pretty wet that day. So some would argue that it'd be red flagged in the real world, and it probably has. iRacing has had an issue. It has had an issue with that type of thing, and that is something that they are working on. We've seen it in a couple of development updates thus far. So, yeah, hopefully no more. How do I put this? If anybody is an older F1 fan, they'll know every time we used to go to Sepang, for whatever reason, they decided to go during monsoon season. And so we would just see the most egregious weather patterns.
You only have to look at what happened in Singapore a couple of years ago.
True, that is true. Yes, they did have a wet race.
They had to get every single mop and chamois available in Singapore to dry the circuit up, and the super stopper from the cricket field. In order to go racing there. It made for a very long night for those of us on the East Coast, where daylight saving had commenced that same day. And of course, it was the NRL Grand Final weekend as well, so it was all happening. Down the back straight we go. This is Sebastian Esconderi under pressure from his teammate Kane Ryder, keeping him honest and going back to the lead down the inside. Ryder responds, returns serve. Nicely done. Geez, Esconderi did really, really well to try and reel Ryder in the first place. Wasted no time in venting an opportunity to find a way past. He created the overtaking opportunity. Oh, and they might get another one here as well. The off-track alerts are lighting up all over the place. 2 laps to go. It's interesting too because, as I said, teammates, there was no sitting there and waiting from Sebastian. He took his first opportunity to find a way by. He pounced while the iron was hot. And now Ryder, who had lost a chunk of time, it's obviously hard to lead from the front in these cars, lost a chunk of time to Morandi in order for Sebastian to get on by, right? And then, instead of Sebastian clearing off, checking out into the sunset, it stayed there. He followed. He tucked in. He didn't lose the toe. That has been so vitally important to the back half of the narrative of this car race, because with a lap and a quarter to go, making a lap when they get to the white flag, that's where they're going right now. Last turn main straight. Ryder's found his way back to the front. He's in the box seat, but what has Sebastian got in store for him on the run home? Let's go. Oh, there we go. We're looking at the old phone booth. Fantastic. Good old Barney. Nowhere near where he needs to bloody well be. Fantastic. The more things change, the more they stay the same. How good. I really don't know what the people at iRacing are smoking when it comes to the placement of Barney. I'd like a taste of it, just to go on the trip for a minute. 35 seconds at least to go here, because they're running down the back straight for the final time. Sorry, it's taking the buzz and the excitement out of what's going on the circuit here. the hide and seek whereabouts of Barney. Sebastian's tucked in behind there. He's going to have one more opportunity around the back section of the circuit here. It's going to have to be into the last quarter. He's trying his best. You can see the slipstream, the drag, the toe, the draft. He's right there. He's millimetres off the bumper at Kane Ryder. To the last quarter we go. What has he got in store for the run down the main straight? It's a great run down the main straight. We're shaping up for a photo finish here, ladies and gentlemen. Randy's going to dive. Ryder's got it. Ryder's got it by 4,000ths of a second. Even though Eskandari Morandi finished with the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 1.427. He was 0.2 of a second quicker on the run home than Ryder. But Ryder draws first blood on a Thursday night in what was an absolute belter. What is it about Super Formula White and British circuits this season? In fact, it doesn't even have to be British circuits. Some of the racing that we've seen here in Super Formula Lights has been the best we've ever brought you on the platforms of the GSRC. And I say that as someone that loves Formula V with you know, unabashed admiration and passion and enthusiasm. And I'm so disappointed that we don't have it on our offering in Term 1. But it is impossible to ignore. You cannot deny the entertainment factor, the quality of the spectacle of the product of Super Formula Light, was thanks to Spreyton Ciders so far this season. Ryder from Morandi, 0.037. Watson got home for third. That's as best he could hope for. And really, he's the best of the championship contenders. Those two aren't in contention ahead of him. But they do take precious, vitally important points away from Watson's championship fight. Barchin, Chapman, Barker, Baz, Ryder, Donahue, Schmidtke got the invert. Lavis got by Adams late in the piece. We couldn't take our eyes off what was going on up front. Zamora, Adams, the two Kings, Phil and Richard. Then Sean Benici, Ben Ryder, John Baldwin. And that rounds out your field. 19 start, 18 come home.